Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Bill Rose. My name's Lawrence.
My name's Bill Rose.
You're Bill Rose.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a sculpture of you today for the Doncaster mining celebration statue. And you are a miner, or were a miner.
Were.
So where were you? Where did you serve out your time?
Markham, Main, Armthorpe.
Markham, Main, Armthorpe.
Do you want the date when I started?
Yeah, please just tell us about it.
The 3rd of May 1957.
Good Lord, really?
Yeah. I lived in Armthorpe for 3 years before I came to Doncaster, you know, in the town area.
Right. So where were you before that?
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Oh, right. I'll start.
Start with your life.
I was born in Jamaica.
You're born in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Okay.
26 July 1937.
Do you know what? My birthday's on the 27th of July.
Yeah.
1937.
37. Yeah. And I came to England 1956. I was working at COD Chilwell, that's the army place, COD Chilwell.
So why did you come from Jamaica in the first place?
Well, I came, two things. My brothers were here, and job security were better here, right, from what I was informed by my brothers. So that's the main reason.
Okay.
And
so your family didn't come, your parents didn't come?
No, just my elder brothers were here. And the next, why I came to the mine, they were in the mines. They were really working in the mines. So I naturally just followed them.
Right. And so you moved to Nottingham straight away?
From Nottingham. I spent the first year in Nottingham, and then I came to Doncaster. And started at Markham, Main, Armthorpe.
And what happened there? Did you obviously trained?
Yeah. Yes. You spend, you go through a process of 3 weeks. First 3 weeks, you know, knowing the do's and don'ts about the mine. And that's where I started. Then you went into coalface. You do a term on knowledge, then you go into I went into coalface, and spent, I think it might be about 12 years on face, doing various jobs, ripping, coal filling. But I eventually, what got me out of the pit, when mechanization started and all the dust, you know, I got chesty, so I came out of the pit and worked in surface. I worked on various jobs for 5 years, and then I went winding.
That's on the wheel at the top?
Yeah. That's very responsible job. Right. I did that for 12 years.
And that's operating the cage or the...
Yeah, the cage, yeah. So I did that for 12 years.
And what does that entail?
Well, it entails taking men up and down the shaft, and also the coal. As you know, there's 2 shafts, and you've got to be able to operate because they both were different, and you've got to be able to operate both shafts.
And that involves... So what is it? What does operating the wheel involve? Are you in a house, engine house, with a load of buttons?
You're in the engine house. First, when I started, it was steam engine, and then I went over to electrical engine, you know. So it was all electric, and it was easier than steam because most of the things were sort of done for you, were worked out for you. Where in steam, you've got to control it. You know?
Gosh. And the training for that?
took me 6 months, but it varies because I've seen people it takes above a year.
Really?
But it just depends how adaptable you are to.
So what's the difficulty? I mean, why is it such a skilled job?
Right, we'll start with the steam engine because that's what I learned on. If you think the power, the amount of steam that you have to control, and that depends on the speed which that wheel will spin. So I would say in the morning when you first started, you would have a great amount of steam, but once you start working, you pull that amount down.
Okay.
So it takes a lot of time for you to, because there's no, like a speedometer, you haven't got that. You've got to watch the wheel and judge the speed that it's going at. And for any time, the first half of you've got a dial, and for the first half, you can put as much speed as you want. But coming in, you'll have to be slowing down all the way in, or it'll trip out. So you can just, so it's something that you got to sort of work out. But after a while, you're able to see it and judge the speed correctly. And there's two different, if you're doing coal, which is like 2 different gears. If you're doing coal, then you put it into coal. If you're doing men, then you've got to change it over, which is speed is a lot slower when you're doing men when you're doing coal.
And but it's not the same shaft, is it, that you're using?
The same shaft, they do both coal and men. When I first started, because it's like 3 different sections. See, when I first started, number 1 shaft, they would just do coal. But it's, you've got a part for men, should in case of emergency, men would ride from number 1. But number 2 was the main shaft for men riding.
Right. Gosh.
And as to when I first started and down the pit and doing filling coal, we go the seams were different by up to 12 inches or maybe more, because I started where the seam was about 5 foot thick to where we were taking about 6 foot odd out. So that was when they went to Barnsley. That was completely different to where we first started.
So 1956?
That's when I came here.
And so we started in the pit in
57.
Jesus.
57 May, the 3rd of May.
Good God. And so you in pit pony world then?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got, you know, during that first 3 weeks training, you had show you how to handle ponies and all the rest of that, yeah. But they never really used pony while I was in arms. Well, I've never used it, but you were told how to do it, shown how to do it, you know, so.
And that was more about how to manhandle them or how to care for them? Or
how to care for them. And the ponies sometimes were even more knowledgeable than you were. They knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah. And you're down every holiday time, because they used to have a 2 weeks holiday in July. I think it's, no, a week. Well, you used to have your holiday in July, so they used to take the ponies out of the pit.
Yeah.
you know, and they used to have to blindfold them when they take,
Wow.
the, you know, put, because they light, because
Yeah.
they're down there all the time, and you know the light when they come up.
I know it slowly phased out at Armthorpe. When was that?
Is it 87?
87.
Yeah.
Oh no, the pit, but what about the ponies?
I don't know exactly the time when they finished. I can remember it was an overman, and he was saying, he says, once had children down the pit, and they said it was too dangerous, so they took children out. Women were working down the pit. They said it's too dangerous, so they took women out, but they left men down there. Sammy Moore.
Did you enjoy it as a way of?
Yes.
Was it your career of choice?
Well, you see, once you go down, camaraderie that you had with your mates, you were actually looking forward to go down every day.
Really?
And it becomes a way of life, and you that. A matter of fact, I know at one time I did not think I could. I wanted to do anything else
Really?
than be a miner. Yeah, I look forward to it. You know, the jokes that the miners has between them. You know, I don't think any other group of people were like that. Very nice.
And you were on the face most of the time.
Yeah,
While you were down,
I spent I think about 12 years on the face.
Wow.
With various different faces, doing different jobs between filling coal, or I did a little bit of ripping. Sometimes you do different jobs which, if there's somebody that's short, and if you're not on a regular face, what we call a market man. You're up for anything, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you weren't a market man very often, or?
Biggest part of the time I was on a regular face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the odd occasion when, if my face is not working, and you've got to, you know, sort of more or less go around shopping for job.
Yeah. So did you want to come out from an? Oh, because of your what was your lung problem? It was.
A big one.
What was your lung problem? You had a problem with your lungs from the.
I had chest dust, you know. So the doctor advised me to come out of the pit. So I went to Sheffield to like a rehabilitation center.
Really?
Which because this is what I was saying. Once you're a miner, you have a mindset, and you think you can't do anything other than mining. But once I went to Sheffield, you know, and you get talking, you can see the other side of the coin, you see, and it was easier for me when I can remember I got very used to one of the under manager, and he actually says to me, because I was going to leave the industry, and he says to me, if I go on do plumbing, you know, learn another skill, they would employ me, see. But when I went to Sheffield, I really wanted to do milling, but he says to me, he says, no, he says, if you do plumbing, he says, we can employ you, so you can still stay in the industry. So that's what I had in mind. Then this other job came up, and I just stayed in and turned my attention to it, and I liked it, so that was that.
Yeah. And So then you get to the kind of strike, I suppose. You on the strikes and the
84, 85.
84, 85?
Yeah, yeah. I was winding at the time.
So that's quite key, isn't it? So you have to stop. I mean, because what about I suppose what about if you get people that are strike breakers, you're putting them down. Are you actively putting them down, or?
No, it was the management. The management did that.
So they operated the shaft.
Yeah, yeah, because you know the deputies and overmen and people like that, people who was in management, they weren't on strike.
Yeah.
Mm. So as you do know, well, I don't know if you do know, but the shaft got to be examined every 24 hours, you know.
Yes.
So therefore, people got to be there to do such job.
So you could have keep. So I mean, it's a responsibility of a load of people to keep the mine safe. So
Yeah.
when you do go back to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's no good destroying it because you're only doing yourself harm. Then.
Yeah. And how did you fare through the strike? Did you, as a family?
Well, at the time, you got to more or less live off what you had, and well, my wife was working at the time, so you know it helps.
So your wife worked.
Yeah.
Was Armthorpe quite a militant foundry? Or
Very.
Man?
Armthorpe, I would say, was one of the most militant in Doncaster.
Yeah.
Because I can remember when people from Wales and wherever they come from and they were having problems with their pitch, they only need to come to Armthorpe and they would be in sympathy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So the troublemakers from the other pits?
Not troublemaker. If they're in any difficulty, they're not troublemakers. They're in any difficulty and they come seeking support.
Really?
Yeah. I can remember they come from as far as Wales.
What sort of support do you mean?
Well, you see, the support is what happened. We refused to work. We just come out of it, you know, until it's settled. Then you're out. You're out in strike.
Yeah. So these sort of Welsh miners who were on strike would come down.
Yeah, wherever they are, and if they're on strike, they go to other pits to seek the support. You see, and really around Doncaster, they're very good at helping out other places. I can remember just trying to think the year now when the nurses, if you might not know this, but they were badly paid, and the nurses and doctors wouldn't be able to go on strike.
Yes.
But the miners, the NUM, took it over, and they were ready to go out in strike to support their pay.
Really?
Oh yes.
So it's like proxy strike.
That's in the 70s. All that happens.
God,
Yeah.
so
The miners were very strong in the 50s and 60s. You know, it's nearly what they say goes.
yeah, had a lot of power.
Yeah. Because you see, then when I first started, I didn't realize that the country was really built and run on coal. They used to say King Coal.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
Would you like a drink or anything, Bill?
Yes, please. I had a tea or coffee, doesn't
Tea or
it?
coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee?
Coffee, please.
How'd you have it?
White with 2 sugars.
You good, Laurence?
Yeah. I'm good. That's incredible, isn't it, really, when you think about it? That you could have an issue with your work, and then you could call the miners' union and they'd come out and strike on your behalf?
Well, I'm not saying it's ever. I know that happens to the nurses.
Yeah.
And this would be, might be it's late 60s, or it's in the 60s that I can remember that happening. But she, one, just like you've got different units down the pit.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 4 or 5 different units going at the time. And if something happens to one unit, then they'll try, and they can't get it settled, they'll get to the other units. And before long, the whole pit will be on sort of strike and until it's settled.
Yeah.
They were more or less dependent on each other. Well, miners on a whole dependent on each other, because it's if you're, just say something happens down the pit, because I can remember they had heating on, you know it's dangerous, you're down there, because there can be explosion. But a miner wouldn't shy away and say, knowing that his mates are down there, he would want to go down there to help. And it's that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a complete different mentality to, now that I'm out of the pit, and I started thinking, you know, because I become an ordinary person, person again. You don't see things in the same light as I did when I was down there.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're a normal person. I mean, how was it like? It's like coming out on Civvy Street. What's it like?
Yeah, that's exactly between, because I've got family, 2 of my kids, they were in the army, and I've got nephews and nieces that's in the army, so I can see the picture how different things is. I can remember my son going into the army, and you know that first 3 months, and when I saw him, I can hear this bloke says, you know, you'll see your own child and you don't know them. They're completely different.
Really?
The mindset is different. And it's the same thing when you go down the mine. I mean, I didn't realize that until after I finished, that it's so different. You think different.
How do you think different? What's the difference?
Well, right. This is exactly what I just said before. If just say there's a fire down the pit.
Yes.
The ordinary you, I'll just say you then, wouldn't want to go up there and go down the pit.
No.
Yet when I was working, I'll be
First one
straight up there, and I wouldn't think twice whether I want to go down or not. See, and that's different.
Kind of loyalty, kind of. Loyalty to your group, to your community.
It's just like if you watch this soldier lad, it's one for all and all for one, and it's the same thing with the miners.
So how was your son different in the army than when he came up from the army?
I beg your pardon?
How was your son different when he came back out, when he joined the army, when he came home?
Well, you know that you can just listen to them talk, and it's a different kind of way that they talk. You see, they're more focused.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing, because I think when you have you're dependent. That's it. You're dependent on each other, and if a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, And if there's a weak link, you know, people could be killed.
Were you very, very aware of danger in the sense of?
You mean down the
yeah.
pit?
I mean, was it something? I mean, I know you got used to it, but did you think about it in the sense of?
You don't think about it. When I first started, because what I found out, you develop senses, like say your hearing senses, becomes more acute. Because I can remember, this is what you look out for. They teach you certain things you look out for. Right, you've got your ceiling, right? And just a little bit of muck, just like that, trickles. You see a little bit of muck trickles, you know, it's going to be a great big fall after. That trickles. So this, you start thinking, and you hear something, and you look. See, all these things, you're more sensitive to all these things.
Yeah.
Wherein, if I'm in here now, right, it's automatic, like your home.
Yeah.
I come to your home, and somebody rings your bell or somebody says something in your home, you hear it and I don't hear it.
Yes.
It's acute to your own home, and the same thing, you take that down the pit.
Nice. I mean, were you witness to accidents and stuff?
Nothing accident, slight accident, you know, but nothing. The worst one I've seen is it's airbagging that blew up in front of a bloke, and you know, but nothing major as some people seen or witness or happens to people. I mean, I've been down pit and I've got the odds bruises, you know, but nothing major.
So do you think you were lucky or just good?
Well, look,
good at the job.
Look and you see, most times if you do, you know, that first initial 3 weeks training which I tell you about, if you go by most of it, you can avoid a lot of it. Yeah, because the do's and don'ts, you see, and you need to, though it's like just like a guideline sort of thing, but all these things can happen. It might not happen straight away or for years, but it can happen, or it does happen to somebody. That's why all these rules, these do's and don'ts were brought in.
It's not easy to remember it. I mean, in the sense of you get complacent, don't you?
No, well, it's similar to a car.
Yeah.
Learning to drive, and you know the things that they tell you when you're learning to drive. There's a reason why they give you all these things. But once you pass your test, this is what happens. Once a lot of people passes the test, then they ignore all these little things, you see, and most times that's when accidents happen.
Yeah. So, did your wife come from Jamaica as well?
Yeah.
Were you married? You weren't obviously. You weren't.
Yeah.
You were married here. Did you meet her here, or did you meet her in Jamaica?
Yeah.
So, is there a big Jamaican community
in Doncaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair, but at the time it wasn't. But you know, comparing with this big town and cities, you know, it's small.
Mm. So did you socialise more as a miner, or with more? Did you look for? Was there like a Jamaican community?
Well, because wherever you go in Doncaster, it's not like now.
Yeah, Bill.
Thank
Fresh
you very
coffee.
much. Thank you. It's not like now. If you stop to think, whichever area you go to, it would be a mining area. If you go to Rossington, it's a mining area. Armtop's a mining area. Bentley's a mining area. Wherever you go, it's a mining area you go to. And the miners, we used to have like a welfare center.
Mm.
You know, we have our own clubs and things like that. You know, you more or less, say on a weekend, we used to find ourselves at the mining clubs.
Right. In whatever town you went to, you could mix as miners, and there was never a problem.
Yeah. No.
You were that community wasn't, the rivalry between mines wasn't that strong.
No.
Was there competition?
No.
Was there productivity competition? Were people prouder?
The only thing that we used to have is because they used to have cricket team and boxing, weightlifting, things like that. So you know, you'd when you're say boxing, you'll be fighting somebody from another area or colliery or whatsoever. Mm.
Were you ever one of those? Were you a sportsman?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
used to be in boxing.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you a champion?
No, I did it for more keep fit.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, because sir, I used to be a big fan of keep fit. I used to go run 3, 4, 5 miles in the morning before I go to work.
You're joking.
Oh yeah.
You're a madman.
Our fit.
Really?
Oh, our fit. Trust me.
Why did you? Why?
No,
Why would you want to be obsessed with that? Was you thinking about your health, or were you just thinking about just enjoying it?
Well, I enjoy that sort of thing. I like to be fit. If I should show you,
Let me just take your cup. I'll put it on this table.
you're right. I'll see if I can.
You're not going to get your muscles out.
No, I won't. See, all here
You go on,
got stretch mark like a lady. You know, a lady that has kids.
Oh, let's have a look.
I've got stretch mark.
Well, what's all that about then?
Huh?
What's all that about? For when you have big muscles?
Yeah.
Really?
If you, I think it's gone from the museum now. But there was a picture of me at the museum.
Really?
Around, oh yeah. It must have been there for, I know it's there for more than 3 months. It might have gone from there now.
As a boxer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at one time, you squeeze this, it would be like squeezing this.
Really?
Yeah. Mm.
Don't annoy him, Laurence.
No, just
because
I just want to make this better looking now.
if you look, say, on the chest, that would be about 46 inches.
Really?
The waist was only 28 inches.
You're joking.
It's really, trust me. I could bring a photo to show you.
Yeah.
Mm.
We must be able to Google this, surely.
To what age were you fighting to?
Once you start having a family, I thought you know, it's so more or less concentrated and family issues. So, but I mean, as it says, fitness. I like doing.
Do you keep fit now?
No, and it's just because, pardon me, since I come out of pit, I get chesty for, you know, once you start. So because of that, I don't much. I don't much go into exercise. Boy, at one time, every day, I used to take exercise. I used to walk, I used to run. And like in the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, and at that time, it's several tons of coal per day you used to shovel.
Really?
Yeah. So it never. I mean, I could guarantee I could shovel at speed. If you stop to think, a conveyor belt, the way a conveyor belt is running, that's what you shovel the coal onto. And I could shovel at a speed that each shovelful catches the other.
Bloody hell. Before it lands?
You know the conveyor belt is
Yeah.
going. And I could shovel, and each shovelful would be catching the other one.
Jesus.
Oh, we could. I've seen us working and in less than no time. Couple of hours. I could work continuously, shovel continuously for a couple of hours, and I wouldn't feel. That's why I said I could go and run 3-4 miles in the morning before I go to work.
God. Was that your main sport, boxing?
Yeah. I love other sports, especially like cricket, and I wasn't so keen. It's only since my sons were doing football and things, but before it was only cricket and boxing. I like watching wrestling and things like that. But other than that, those were my main sports.
So your sons are pretty sporty.
Yeah. Yeah, football, mainly football.
Yeah. How many sons have you got?
Two.
2 sons.
2 sons, 2 daughters.
So are they still sporty?
Yeah. One is a football referee.
Football referee?
Yeah, referee. And the other one, he does a lot of footballing.
What is he, a national football referee?
No, local does run. I've got a piece done at the museum in Wakefield, mining museum in Wakefield.
Yeah, I've been there. The Cap House. Mining museum.
Yeah.
What have you got there?
I did, you see, because well, just to say what, once it was known that I was doing winding, you know, because it was Rosie, our MP, that took me there anyway, because I'm the I'm the only black wine that's in England, Scotland, or Wales.
Really?
And she said, oh, I've got to put this in. So I went up and recorded it up in Wakefield at the museum.
So you become a celebrity up there.
No, I wouldn't say that. I often goes to places that they're doing mining, you know, and maybe because of the length of experience I've got in the mining, below ground and above ground, I've gone to places like Huddersfield and Nottingham and places, and you know, sort sometime I'll be a little chat about what I've done in the mines and things like that.
So was there a big ethnic community down there, or was it quite rare to be
Where?
in the mines? Was it unusual to be?
Well, this mine in Armthorpe, it might have been about 10 of us. Rosington, not the less, because I think it's only about 2 or 3 in Rosington. You know, but as I say again, once you come from below ground, you know, I could go to Rosington and go to their welfare center, and you know, so though I never much goes out of Armthorpe zone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it was there. I could have gone there wherever.
Just look down on top of you. You got what they call a good head. I'd like to have known you as a boxer to see your physique.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll get you a copy.
Yeah, I've never been that fit. I've often wondered what it must feel like to be in a high performance mode with your body.
I was fit.
Were the miners fit as a rule?
Yeah, they had.
I mean, were you unusual in your fitness?
No, a lot, because I'm talking about Armthorpe now, because you see I haven't had much dealing with the other pits. But there was all the facilities in Armthorpe.
Right.
You could have gone there, get yourself fit. Weight training, all sort. There was all sort there.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Mm.
So did you spend a lot of time in the gym?
Yes, when I come home from work and, you know, like a couple of days a week, then I used to go to plant work, you know, they used to have a gym in near Exthorpe there. I used to go up there and all and spend time. Because most of the young lads that at that time were 21, 22, and they were all in some form of sports. I don't know if you know any of the ponies.
Ponies?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's their surname.
The ponies?
Yeah.
Family called the ponies?
Ponies.
No, I don't know any ponies.
Oh, because they're from Armthorpe. Quite a few brothers of them were living in Armthorpe.
Well, the ponies?
Yeah, and they used to be into boxing, you see. So I used to knock about with them.
Okay.
And then they used to have a gymnasium down at race course, the other side of race course, near the football ground. They used to have this Tongan, Keton Levy. He used to be there, so I used to go down and knock
Katongan
about.
who, sorry?
A Tongan, it was a
Tongan?
Yeah, Tongan.
Tongan as in from Tonga?
Yeah.
Near in the Polynesia? Is that Polynesian?
It's somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a Tongan operating the gym near Doncaster Racecourse.
Yeah, he used to be one of the top boxers.
Really?
Mm.
So did your boxing take you around the country, or were you mainly?
No, you see, you could go down and spar with them, and pass time away,
You were fodder.
Yeah.
They just came and took you out, as they say. There must be nothing nicer than a boxing training club, where everyone's working together.
You see, it's another thing. That is the discipline that it has, because if you know, this is something that I observe. People that does things like that, very, very seldom in trouble.
Seldom have children?
Very seldom in trouble, gets
in
into
trouble.
They're always, they would be the last one to jump in and have a fight, because I think I can beat you up,
With their track fights, though? People try and... I mean, did you get involved in fights for the people trying to...
No.
People trying to, like, test you out because you're a champion boxer?
No, they didn't.
So how often would you fight? Every week?
No, it's more seasonal. It's more seasonal thing. But you just keep fit. So where does this go after?
After this today?
Yeah.
I've got a foundry.
Yeah.
In my studio I have a foundry, so we're taken back to the workshop. We have moulds made of them. And then we turn them into bronze.
Yeah.
You'll get a plaster head. I'll give you one in plaster, if you want it. And then we then put them in, hopefully, the sculpture in the town centre. They're going to go in the sculpture.
Oh.
And this film will also be a part of it.
Oh.
You'll be able to scan it on your phone and watch the film. So there'll be like labelling and scanning stuff on the site. So you're going to scan your phone on there'll be a diagram in your head will be there, and it'll scan it, and then your life story will come out as the head is evolving in this film. So this film will kind of be part of the whole thing.
It's strange because I once went to Nottingham they've got a place, Dig Deep. It's to do with miners. What it was all about, it's mainly to do with black miners.
Right.
Because there's a pit in Nottingham. And anyway, we were invited, a couple of lads from here was invited up, but we went to, and during the day, Channel 4 was there, interviewing people, and came to me and did an interview, and then she asked if, if I don't mind if it goes on television. I said, I don't mind. Anyway, I thought when she was interviewing me, it would be just about mining, because as I say, I'm not frightened about mining because I know nearly everything about mining. You see, I've spent that much time in the industry. Anyway, when we started, then this, what I call it, she started on something different, but it didn't matter because I was able to sort of hold my own on it.
So what did she start talking about?
Well, different things, so, but it was all right. And then it went from there. When I came home from Nottingham, got home, and it was on television. And not only that, the next thing, I was in Jamaica in January, and there were some people there that I spent time with, and they saw it. And so it went there and back here.
God.
Oh.
You might have a mug stuck to your lips now. Do you like being the subject of centre of attention for a portrait head?
Well, I may have not bothered them.
Chilled.
Yeah.
So did you have did you live in mining houses? I mean, mining cottages and stuff? when you
No,
first started?
no. Well, when I started in Armthorpe, I lived with a friend, and he was living in because all the houses in Armthorpe at that time are nearly 95% of the houses. There was only a few private houses there in the 50s when I went there. So I lived with him for 2.5, 3 years. 3 years. Then I live in apartment, rented accommodation, and then I bought my own house in 62. Yeah.
Was that easy to do?
Difficult.
Was it?
Great, yes.
In what way? Financially?
Well, couple of reasons. It was very difficult to get a mortgage, for a black person to get a mortgage in the 60s was difficult.
Why was that?
Well, all obstacles were put in your way. I remember I had to pay a third of the value of the house to get a mortgage.
And a normal thing was 10%?
Right. And when I sold it, the bloke, I had to pay £600 when that's £600 in 1962 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when I sold it, the bloke who sold it to, he paid £250. That's years after. That would be
Wow.
70, I forget, 71, 75, 74, 75.
Gosh.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the difference. And you also, and plus, there was an estate agent. And you see, first, and I'm only talking about myself now, but it happens to other people. When you go to his place, you know, if he's got a house, because I tried to get a house at Townmore, and he sort of said to me, and I thought he was helping me, you know, because he says, "Oh, son, you don't want to get a house like that because, you know, you've got this to pay and that to pay." He didn't ask me if I've got the money, because I was working good money at the time because we were on cold faces. Anyway, when was it now? Then I went to Benetor. I went back to him, same thing. Then I went because I always wanted a house near the park, because I always looking forward that if I have children, you know, I'm near the park. So I went into Checker Road, because you got a house there that backs onto the park. And so I went to him, and he says, then he says to me, he says, oh, I've got some houses here in Waterdale, and that time, you know, where Young Street, you know Young Street, it's other side of where the theater is now. He says, I've got some houses there, and there's some in Bentley. So I could see what he was sending me, where he was sending me. That's why right now in Doncaster, you've got the biggest population of black people in Bentley and places like that, you see. They were sent there, most of them were sent there. Anyway,
So it was kind of organised through estate agencies,
yeah.
kind of communities were almost built.
Yeah. So anyway, after I found that out, I did not go back to any houses that he's selling, you know. So I went somewhere else and got a house, but still there was...
So that was one particular track, one particular stage. It wasn't a general thing across.
No, it wasn't a general thing, but still there was a lot of, as I tried to explain about the mortgage, I mean, I'm sure by saying, oh, you've got to put X, Y, Z amount of money down, it was another way of, you know, saying you, because as I say, it's near enough a third. I had to put down.
But you managed it.
Oh yeah, it was. Where there's a will, there's a way.
How much longer do you think it took to get your house than it would have done if you had the other room?
No, I had the money then. You see, maybe that's where, because as I says, it's not many people then that had £600 in their hand. So maybe by saying to me, you've got to put £600 down, it was nearly like a deterrent.
Yeah.
You see, it's strange because I remember going to this bloke and he says, I went to draw some money from the bank. And I says, Mr. Rose, why are you using your money? Why not borrow some money from us? I says, oh, that's a good idea. I says, if I can borrow it at the same rate that you're giving me, I says, I'll borrow yours. He said, no, we can't do that. That's an American way, you know, because they save their money and borrow.
Sorry, they save their money and borrow the rest.
They'll keep their money in the bank and borrow from somebody else, and I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
So is this wax? Is it beeswax? Or?
No, it's kind of a paraffin wax. It's kind of like a petroleum wax.
Oh. So don't it in time do anything to your?
I don't know.
You're a guinea pig.
I don't think many people do this. I don't know. It's not the sort of thing. I need 3 hands. And it never goes into your teeth.
Oh.
But it's funny because I like that is the wrong size for what I want. This is your corner of your lip here. And that is all right. So then I roll it out, get my nice lozenge, and then I apply it to it.
Oh.
This is an unorthodox method of work. This is not what a normal portrait sculptor would do. It usually takes them weeks. But I was forced into the situation in this project, and I've learnt a lot about what I can do.
It becomes easier. You find ways.
You find methods.
Yeah.
So you're breaking all the rules in many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be getting a skull sorted out first, then a muscle structure,
Yeah.
and then I should be measuring you with calipers. You should be on a table,
Yeah.
not sitting next to you having a chat.
Oh, it would be similar with what? Where did I see something? Right. It's like they find a body
Yeah,
and the flesh is gone.
that's right.
So yeah, I understand.
Similar to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar. But then we have to try and reflect personality, character, and something of ourselves and our relationship with them, Can you see yourself?
Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out. Yeah.
I'm looking at this and it's slightly wonky, and I'm thinking, but you are. This cheek is more pronounced than that. I always get scared. Like, oh no, because I've looked.
Yeah.
And I've got from the side, I got the profile of the nose to the cheek, and I got it right.
Yeah.
And from that one, I got the nose to the cheek, I got that right. And then you look at the front, and you can see it's not quite straight. You think, oh no! So then you start working from the.
Maybe it's you see, as you get older, maybe once.
Maybe once you had a straight face.
And a strange thing, if you notice some older person, they could be leaning that way,
Yes.
and it's all to do with aches and pain,
Yeah.
because you go the way to release pain, you see, so.
So that gets more interesting as a sculptor. That gets really interesting because you end up with, the way I sit this on the plinth, really, your whole shoulders are going that way and your head's going that way. So really, I should sit it on the plinth like that.
Yeah.
Because that whole angle of your head, that's how you have your head. If I did it straight, it's kind of not animated. If I put it like that, it feels like you more. I'll probably do that. So if you're going in a rock for the rest of time. If you want to be straight, you better straighten up now. It's amazing how many things go into the character of a head. I'm going to smooth you out. The last 5 minutes I smooth you out, so don't worry too much. Some people you don't need to smooth out because they're so damn wrinkly.
Maybe another 10 years' time I'll be as...
How old are you? Well, you're 37. Yeah, you were born in 37.
Yeah.
So you're 82.
I'll be 82 in July.
Wow. So what do you do now as a life? How do you occupy yourself now?
Well, I spend my days doing different things, and one of the main things that I do now, because I'll be doing that in another couple hours time when I leave here, playing dominoes.
Oh, really? In a club or a pub?
Club.
Dominoes club?
Yeah. Well, I mainly go to, Bentley West End Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go around there and play with my mates. But like today, I'll go up to Extop, the church hall there, where over 60 men meet.
Really?
Yeah, so I'll go there and spend a couple hours.
Is your wife still around?
No, she died. that.
A while ago, or?
Yeah. So I'll do that, and it you see, different days we've got, like every other day I've got a free day, like yesterday Tuesday, that's a free day, but today I've got plans for Wednesdays. Thursday is a free day which I can do anything, and Friday I go and play dominoes. Saturday is a free day. Sunday I go and play dominoes. So I look forward to it.
Is there skill to dominoes?
Yeah, I play at high level sometimes.
High level?
Yeah, I used to play. I used to be like 5 and 3s. If it's, you know about dominoes?
Well, I know. I played dominoes. Yeah.
Yeah, you play 5 and 3s.
What's that?
That's one which, right, how you score it, you've got to score it, you add the two ends. Say I drop double 6, so 3 into 6, 3 into 12 goes 4 times, so you'd score 4. But if somebody else put 6, 3 on it, that 12 and the 3 at this end is 15. And 5 into 15 goes 3. So 3, you would have 8.
Right.
So you score it and you've got a pegboard, and that's how you score it. So that's, I used to represent Intake Club doing that. But the ordinary domino, we used to have a domino team,
Right.
which we used to play go away every like 3 weeks. We would have gone places like Bradford, Bolton,
Really?
Liverpool, Leeds, Huddersfield. We used to go all over and play. And as friendly, we used to go like to London. We won the British Airways Cup.
Really?
Yeah, that's at Manchester. So, you know, we used to play very competitive domino. But it's something I enjoy doing, and it's good for this. So, you see, I like anything to do with numbers.
Really?
Oh yeah, anything to do with numbers, I like that.
So you're well engaged. I mean, you've got quite a busy social life then, really.
Oh yeah, now that I can't move about as fast as, you know, then I like something to let this tick over.
Yeah. Does your family, do your daughters live near close by, or?
Yeah, one lived out at Flat Top, you know, and one lived in London. Daughter used to work at Copeland's there, where, you know, just down the road here, until they finish, they close it down. But if ever that you need some beautiful cakes doing,
Yeah?
she's the lady.
Oh, so you were the man.
No, not me.
You're a
not
baker?
me. No. She decorates cakes.
Oh, really?
And make cakes. Yeah. Oh, you see some sampling some cakes that she's done. Really beautiful.
Grandchildren?
Mm-hmm.
Got lots?
Is it about 7? I've got great-grandchildren.
Really?
Mm.
We've got to make you smooth.
Beg your pardon?
I've got to make you smooth.
Oh.
Luckily for you.
Lucky for me, lucky I haven't got any hair on.
Yeah,
So is it on how many people from Armthorpe? That's
no, actually. I know we've had a couple.
I know Dennis.
Dennis we had, yeah. He's great, he's great, isn't he?
Because I'd seen, as I said, when I went
Yeah.
up there, I'd seen
50 minutes left.
50 or 15?
50, 5-0.
Oh, bloody hell. That's good.
Doing well.
Wow. Do you need to talk?
No?
When he starts coming in to talk, it means this is going wrong. When he takes over the conversation, you know if you've got to concentrate. Right, I'm going to quickly douse it in water. If you feel it, it's hot, and buttery.
Oh yeah.
I can't get the form, so I'm just going to put it in.
Is the plaster still reacting?
No, it's good. Just gets hot and sweaty.
It's having a feel of the wax. So it feels strange, doesn't it? It's not
Yeah.
like normal.
Yeah.
You guess it's specially made.
I'm a bit relaxed now. I've got 50 minutes. I can actually do some looking. Most of it is like my fingers are working and I'm not really a part of the process. Sorry about this.
The t-shirts must all be ruined.
I apologise, but you're fit perfect into my armpit.
Those are tricks he picks up along the way.
Yeah. The armpit's a very important thing. A lot of this goes under the armpit.
Do you always use the right armpit? So you put a shirt on,
Well, yeah, because
and
I'm
the right one's full of wax and the left
Yeah.
one's fine.
Sorry, my clothes are the stains of my career. I get quite attached to my work clothes because they're kind of they're like the history of my life.
Yeah, they're part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I actually save them.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
Still-
nowhere without them.
Yeah.
You've got some new boots on this time.
Well, I bought my other ones just in case things weren't going well. I was a bit superstitious.
You sure they're in your van?
You are?
You sure they're in your van?
Yeah, God. Right, a bit of forehead work now. I'm just going to get this angle right.
You know Tosh McDonald?
Tosh? Yeah, Tosh. We know Tosh.
Yeah.
Rail Union.
Yeah. What
He's
you
a
got?
character,
What
isn't
you got his do?
What have I haven't done him. He's been a part of the consultation and he's been a great kind of advocate for the project.
Yeah,
Great
because
support.
you see, when I was supposed to, when it was up there, I should have, and I don't know what happened the Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, and I went into town complete. It blocked straight out of my mind. I got home and home says, "Have you been?" I said, "It's a bit weird." And it's only through touch. Why, he says it's not completely closed.
Yeah.
So that's how come. Because even my daughter, he went up there and came back and, she told me that it's still not closed. So, I think they're more sort of into it than I am. I'm into it, but it won't be long before I'm gone and something's left behind.
The bronze will still be there.
Oh, yes.
That's where we met Keith Allsop at that one as well, wasn't it?
A big one?
I think we met a man called Keith Allsop at that one at the trades.
Oh, really?
Was it that one? I'm sure it was.
Oh, when I did the talk?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No,
You talking about the talk or are you talking about the exhibition?
No, I'm on about the one in Arndale Centre.
Oh, you're on about
French
exhibition.
French Gate Centre, yeah.
It's a good exhibition, that, for a little shop in the French Gate, really. A few hairy moments when we were trying to get the rock through the door.
Oh,
Trying to get the rock out of the lorry, that was interesting.
God. That's just the life of a sculptor. You're lucky mining's easy.
well, they all have the pitfalls. That's
Hey.
good, isn't it?
Hey! Ka-ching!
Can't get on the puns, I can't stop once I start, I can't get involved with this. Otherwise I'll be picking my brain for the rest of the day.
Was that an attempt at one I missed?
No, that was one.
Oh, right, sorry. Fell on fallow ears.
Your ears are trained for the pit lingo now, so you'd be on nudge rather than pick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's amazing how much terminology comes from the mine. I learnt when I was down the cap house, like keeping the trap shut was all about keeping the traps shut in the shafts.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are the traps for? The airflow?
Well, in the Victorian times, there were. Yeah, you had. Did you have a trap door to go through from one compartment to the other?
Yeah, you see, you've got door, right, say this, you come through that door, to go through that, you've got to shut that before it can open that. You can't open it.
Because of the air pressure?
The pressure. Once you shut that, that opens easy.
Do you want me to sit here for a minute?
Yeah. You're moving your head.
Then we can talk and you stay looking at me.
Oh yeah. I
You're
like
following
to.
me and Laurence is doing it.
I like to look at who I'm talking to. Well, it's only habit that it's only natural that you like to.
So how have you found the process so far? You enjoyed it?
Yes, it's all right. Well, see, I didn't know what to expect because it's first time I'm a virgin. Oh, I got that one in all right.
That's not a mining term.
Probably was actually. So you said you were at the Armthorpe pit, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm top, yeah.
With Dennis Knowles?
Dennis Knowles. Well, there's a lot of the blokes that I work with. It's strange, I go up to Armthorpe now, I pass through Armthorpe because I do that often. And none of the chaps, a matter of fact, I don't think many of the miners are in Armthorpe anymore. They seems to move out.
Yeah.
But the whole village has changed. a matter of fact, it's more updated because the houses, they've done them up and, you know, it looks completely different.
Yeah.
Mm. It's and what I noticed, a lot of the landmark gone. There's a pub there called the Taddy.
Yeah, Tadcast, yeah.
Just past the pit gate.
Now, yeah.
It's knocked down now.
Yeah.
They've knocked it down. I think they're going to build houses.
Yeah.
The welfare centre is gone. That's the miners' welfare. That's gone.
Because is there an Aldi there now or something?
You know, I don't know what they're doing there, but where the bus garage was is a supermarket. Where the pitcher's house was is a supermarket, and that's Morrison's, I think.
Yeah.
That's where the cinema was. Where they had like a paddock, that's all houses. Everything's changed. Everything's changed.
One of the things that we've learned from this project is, or realised really, is just how influential the mines were to the
Yeah.
local community and how much the mines supported the recreational grounds
Yes.
and the sense of community, the welfares, the pubs, the shops, the houses.
A lot of spin-off.
Yeah, a heck
Spin-off.
of a lot came from the workers of the mine itself, and that sense of community. I think when you remove that, it all just
It was like the glue that held everything together. Yeah. I noticed that, and I can remember Armthorpe say everybody sort of knows everybody. Old so-and-so, you know, died, and what they usually do is sort of more or less go around the village and they make a collection, and whether to buy flowers or this, that, and the other. You know, it was really well knitted.
I think one of the biggest problems was because the mines gave so much money and time and manpower to the communities. They maintained the sports fields and had all these galas, the events and everything like that. I think as soon as that individual mine stepped out, the local community couldn't afford to maintain all that. And I think that's why where a lot of the almost like recession of the town occurred because of the mine being removed.
I remember when miners' demonstration, we used to, it used to be hosted in May. I think it's only once they've done it on Townfield, but we used to go places like Leeds and Pontefract and all over we used to go, and it used to be several coaches, well, hundreds of coaches that takes off and get there, and they used to have mainly a speaker from the Labour Party, mainly, you know, that starts it off, and it used to be good. Used to have a good day out.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of them went to like Seaside and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Going, like,
Now you see, in the 50s and 60s, it's completely different to what it is now. I remember I'm talking about Armthorpe now, and they used to have like 1, 2, 3 clubs, and the member of the clubs, and they used to put the name of your children down, and people used to look forward to July and race week to go away, and sometimes the children, that's the only holiday that they know. You know, they go away, Seaside, and Story, and they used to look forward to it.
Do you ever go to the Durham Miners Gala?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Durham. I used to go to all of them.
Getting tempted to take Laurence up. He'd have a busy day.
I used to, because the last one, was it last year? I think Tashwa trying to organize something, you know. Well, I didn't go. I don't know if he did, but you know, during the time when I used to work, I used to go to all of them. I remember Mr. Foote. He spoke at one I went to. And Anthony Wedgwood Ben, Tony, well,
Yeah.
it's Tony Ben, you know, because he knocked the Wedgwood off. You know. That's Ben's father,
Hilary Ben.
Hilary Ben's dad. Yeah, yeah, I can remember him doing one of them. But they always have, seems to have a different speaker every year. But it's always somebody from, well, the union originated from no, it's the party that comes from the union, the Labour Party that comes from the union, links with the union sort of thing. So I think that's why all the speakers were always from the Labour Party.
Were you
Sure, the
political?
Labour Party did that this
I
year.
beg pardon?
Were you political? Did you
Yeah,
join
I
the
am
clubs? And
very, very, very.
yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you're a Tory?
No. No, but the difference with me, if somebody does something right, whether it's Tory
Yes.
or is Liberal or is Labour, I say it's right. You know, I'm some people is sort of biased because it's a Tory that says it or does it, you know. But I'm member. I'm a member of the Labour Party for years. And, well, mainly the thing that, the two things that got me, attracted me to the Labour Party, it's
Dominoes?
1958, no, this is year, 1958, when, I don't know if you hear about Teddy Boys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Well, 1958, they had the Teddy Boys roaming the place in Notting Hill and Nottingham and places like that. And I can remember our Prime Minister from Jamaica, Manley, came over here, and he's a barrister. And I can remember he had a public meeting in the square in Nottingham. And I was there, and he encouraged all of us to join, be active in political sphere, because he says that's the only way you can put your point over. And from that day, you know, I took his advice.
Really?
And then what made me even get into the Labour Party movement, I can remember I was telling you about getting a house.
Yes.
It was difficult to live in certain places. And I can remember Harold Wilson, he was the Prime Minister at the time, and he made sure that you can live wherever you want to live.
Really?
Yes, so from that day, you know, it sticks with me. Well, as I says, I don't care who says it or who's doing it, and if I think that is right, then I'll say it's right. I wouldn't be saying it's the Tory that says it, so it's wrong.
You've got the fan club moving in.
I beg pardon?
The fan club's moving in.
Oh.
Hello.
So you've got half an hour left, Laurence. You're going to have to use loads of white spirit on this, Jen.
I've already started an hour early.
They'll probably make it to your age with no wrinkles.
So, did you serve on council then and things like that?
I beg your pardon?
Did you serve on the council, Labour Party council?
No, no, no.
Frightened to talk about politics at this point. It's not really going very well, is it all?
Well, it's because you've heard so much of it. You see, after a while, it can, you know, a lot of people said it's boring, but it's something that's got to be done. So, whether it's boring or not, and I think it's worthwhile paying attention to it, because this is exactly the reason for the people who wanted to remain. That's exactly the reason they weren't listening. Right. And I think, you see, what happens like at home, where it's in Jamaica, where it's different to here. The speaker will go out and they'll have open meeting, a lot of open meeting, and people here don't seem to attend.
Yeah.
Attend?
Attend, you see, so it's second, and what you hear, it's somebody says something and somebody tell you, and usually they either add something to it or leave something off, so it's...
It's not a way to receive information, is it?
No, but that's exactly what happens here.
So what's your fondest memory of the pits, Bill? What, if you could only put it to one particular strapline or one particular thing?
Well, you see, it's the last what is it, the last 12 years, because at that time I was out of the pit, I becomes a winder, and that was my highlight. But down the pit, I've got many fond memories, you know. It was hard graft, but at the end of the day, if you're not frightened of hard graft, you know, it's.
Was it nice to be out in the light rather than spending?
Yes. There's a, even though you're working for the same industry, there's a mild difference between underground and surface.
And what were you doing on the surface?
Well, yeah, mainly, well, the last 12 years were winding. So, and in the olden days, because I had a discussion with Neil Kinnock about this, because one of his uncles was a winder, and you know, we got talking, and at the moment he found out that I was a winder, you know, he really got talking to me about it, because he know what his uncle did. And you see, in the days of steam, the winder was the heart of the thing. because without them, everything ceased to function. See, so it was a very, very important role.
Is that, pardon my ignorance, but is that the responsibility to remove the coal out of the mine? So
Yeah, the coal, you get the men down, the coal out.
So one of the interesting things that we've heard about getting the men down is from the men that were going down, they turned around and said, you never annoyed the guy in charge of the cage, because he said sometimes they let it go that fast, it scared the life out of them. Was there ever a time when you went, oh, I'm going to scare these guys a bit and send them down a bit faster?
No. You see, because as I said earlier, this thing's governed. So if you try to go too fast, it'll trip out.
All right.
It'll trip out and you've got a lot of fail-safe things on it to make sure that it, you know. So the first half, you can go at a fairly reasonable speed. But as soon as you get in nearer to the bottom, if it's not slowing down, it'll trip out.
Right. And how big was the cage at Armford? How many?
32, I think it takes 16 on lower deck and 16 on upper deck.
That is crazy.
And what is it? Is it nearly half a mile deep? That one in Armstrong.
Try not to get your suit dirty.
Oh, all right.
Did you dress up posh, or do you usually wear shorts and jeans, or is this your daily attire?
I don't wear jeans. That's something I don't wear. I don't wear jeans. Mainly, I'm like this.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
New glasses definitely make you look more artistic, Laurence.
Forgot I had one. I've been trying to. I'm too vain. I don't like the glasses on. Not for prosperity, what we call it. This light is very flattening at the front.
Do you want me to drop them off?
Can you tone them down a bit?
Can we do
Just
that,
the front?
Simon? Can we turn the lights down?
Tell you what, if I move you to the side, we'll go on the side for now. Sorry, if you just sit there and just spin around.
Which one's getting the most, Laurence?
It's just there's an incredible flat light. It's easy. Better this way.
Do you have the same one?
If you just go there,
Go back to the light, that way.
if you just face me now, you can see a bit here. So. That's a good idea. Why not do that before?
I was going to suggest it, you know.
Were you? What did your parents do? He wasn't a sculptor, was he?
No, that's farming.
Farmer? What are they farming?
sugarcane,
Sugarcane.
ginger, yams.
Big
potatoes.
farm or?
Well, it just depends what's big.
Yeah.
Comparing to the, it was medium.
And so you worked on that farm obviously when you were a kid. What sort of work was that? Harvesting?
Well,
or-
helping out, yeah, mainly harvesting. Hard work,
Yeah. Harder than mining?
yeah.
Really?
Because
Really?
sugarcane is hard.
Is it? Why is it hard?
Because it's, to explain to you, it's, you can get cuts and bumps and bruises if you do, you know, working in it.
How many minutes was it, sorry?
You've got 20 minutes left. You did start slightly earlier than this, so you had extra.
I'm rather enjoying it. I think I'll keep the torture going.
I think we only started about maybe 5-10 minutes early.
He's a good one, this one. In fact, this has helped a lot. Why did I do this before? Move around a bit.
So then we'll drop them off for the next one.
Just bloody idiot. How long have we been doing
well,
this?
you see, you learn as you go
I
along. It's your
know.
best.
Do you know what? People go, it's lovely learning all the time. I'm sick and tired of learning.
No,
I just
no.
want to know how it's done.
You see, when you stop learning, it's when you stop breathing.
You're a bit of a philosopher, aren't you?
You've definitely got it from the side here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's got his enigmatic eyes, which I couldn't see. Jesus Christ. I think it's like having a nurse in an operating theatre. So I look more intelligent with the glasses, do I?
Artistic, not intelligent.
Ah.
Definitely didn't say that word.
It's the beard that is like a prophecy.
You see?
What
Danny?
about,
You see?
Geppetto?
Professor. Geppetto the Professor.
Sat here watching this thinking, I made that call.
Wait up. What? Oh, yeah. So did you have lots of brothers and sisters down? I mean, did a lot stay in Jamaica? You got two brothers in England?
Yeah, and 2 sisters. I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Did did you basically abandon your father on his farm?
No, abandoned. We still had, well, it's like anything else. That's what the Bible says. You grow up and you leave home.
I mean, was your father...
So I only left home a bit further than maybe you did.
I didn't go far. Did you, were you expected to take over the farm, or was it always expected that you would do
Well,
it?
that's exactly what happens. As your parents grows old and fade away, you naturally...
Did any of your family go back to look after the farm?
Well, there's still relatives that...
So it's still there? Is it?
Still there, yeah.
Really?
It's still there.
Are they now extraordinarily wealthy and you wish you'd done it, stayed?
No, what's done cannot be undone, and
But
I'm
is it one of
happy
those?
as
Is it one of those industries that, as
That one's not.
damn it, is it one of those industries that has suddenly got wealthy in Jamaica, owning a farm, having property, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, the land itself is same as here. The land itself becomes going from few pounds to hundreds of pounds. So.
Were you in a obviously it was rural, but
Yeah.
were you sad to leave?
Well, mixed feeling because when you first set sail, you don't know where you're heading to, other than what you learn at school, what England is like. You know, you've got to let your imagination run wild.
Yeah. And were you disappointed when you came here? What was the
That was November time.
so what? So what was that? What was that like? What was that?
Where your fingers start
Yeah, yeah.
burning because you see we always in shirt sleeve and go out and end the story. Now you've got to be, you know, plenty of clothes and
Is it something you thought I'm never going to get used to this, or did you just knuckle down?
well, I just think if Tom deals with it, so will I. So will I. So it never.
So the process of cutting sugarcane, is that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
all day long?
That's exactly what I'm
And how much?
back breaking.
Is it?
It's similar to mining, back breaking.
And how long does the harvest season last?
About 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, it starts in January. I mean, they'll now as we speak, they'll be doing that while June.
God. Blimey. And how many people will be How many people will be working on the farm? Sorry.
Well, it just depends on the day, the amount of lorry loads of cane that they're supposed to do. So it varies.
Is it mechanised now?
I beg pardon?
Is it mechanised?
Yeah, compared to when I was there, because everything that I did then was manual. But now it's when I went back last time, it was completely different. Completely different to when I was there. When I had anything to do with it.
Yeah. So you haven't been. How long was it before you went back after you came here?
9 years. I went back 9 years, then another 9 years. So in 18 years, I went back twice, and I didn't go back again for 37 years. But the last, from 2013, I go back every year.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Just because you
It's
can?
just because I should have been there now, as we speak.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we honoured?
Yeah, I should have been there. I should have gone out on the 13th. But,
Well, are you going out soon?
I beg pardon?
Are you going out soon?
I might do. It's I might finish the winter out there.
So you're staying with family, are you?
No, I usually, sometimes I stay with family, but I've been in an hotel.
Easier.
Yeah, because most of the families passed away.
Okay.
So it's,
So what do you do there then if you...
tour, I go all over the country, different places. Places I've never seen before, or, you know, places of interest. I bet it's hello? Hello?
So not a long conversation, because I'll tell you what, it'll be in. I like the music.
I think you should have had a notice there. Please turn your phone off.
I should have showed you the emergency exit.
It would give me a good excuse. I'm in the doctor's surgery.
Was your mum fully active on the farm as well?
Yeah, it's a family thing.
Got just under 10 minutes, so.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Right. Right, can you face those guys? A bit more? A bit facing us. Face the very attractive lady.
Oh, I thought you would say be on your best behavior. I think the sticks tried to get into the act.
Gosh, that's quiet.
Yeah, yes. I think that's what you call the quiet period.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. Who did this for me today? None of this lot. Thank you. I don't tell you on those street artists. The responsibility.
Do you think you could do this from memory?
No. You're hoping, eh? Come back for replay. I do heads, imaginary heads all the time,
Oh,
but I don't do portraits from my own memory. Ah! I suppose you should call that a day.
Yeah, it is 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be it.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, sir. Hi. Hi.
You
Yeah,
are?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm
Yeah?
down. I'm down at the college. I've been. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did it. I tried it before I came out.
That's your time.
Mhm.